After being on the road for 7 months, we arrived in the biggest country of Centralasia. All of a sudden, we found ourselves driving through endless steppes and giving way to herds of camels crossing the road. At this point, we came to the realization that we were a long way from home.
This is Overlanding in Kazakhstan.
Crossing the border from Russia to Kazakhstan went pretty smooth. Like, after every border crossing, we changed money and got a car insurance. And we learned a valuable lesson too. Never buy a SIM card at a local shop, but always do it at an official office or you might get scammed. The top priority for our visit to Kazakhstan was Ustyurt National Preserve. So our plan was to drive from the border along the Caspian Sea towards Atyrau, Beyne, and go south towards the Turkmenistan border. On day one, we immediately got an impression of the vastness of the Kazakh steppe. After some hours of driving, we decided to take a small detour towards the Caspian Sea, but miserably failed. The distances are huge, and in the vast open landscapes, you have no sense of direction. So, we lost about an hour, did not reach the shore, and got lost on our way back to the main road. Great success!
The following days, we tried to cover as much kilometers as possible. We briefly visited Atirau, got lost again in the steppes in our search for a salt lake, and had a friendly encounter with 2 police officers in Beina.
Oh yes, an expensive encounter. After fueling up, I turned back onto the main road, crossing a full white line. There was nobody in sight for kilometers, so I took my chance. Only a few hundred meters later, the blue flashing lights doomed up in the rearview mirror. As it is a serious offense, the officers told me that they would not make it hard for me as a tourist, but let me go off if I just paid a fine. They demanded $200, but apparently fines are negotiable here. The smallest dollar billet we had was 100. And as they don't give back change, we agreed that $100 would be sufficient to learn from my mistakes. So with a full tank and $100 less, we went down to one of the most remote places in Kazakhstan, the Mangistau region. The Ustyurt National Reserve lies in this region near the borders of Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. But if we would tell you that it is somewhere on the moon, you'd probably believe us as well. The landscapes here are simply mind-blowing. Out of nowhere, pillars and other rock formations rise up to hundreds of meters above the barren landscape. The place is truly magical.
Hi, cutie.
Hi, hi. Talking to me or to Flo? Everything all right?
Of course. Enjoying the best view with a good apero, all free of charge. Couldn't be any better. On our last day in the National Reserve, we encountered some problems. While going up a steep hill and trying to switch to a lower gear, we were unable to get the car in first or second gear. What the fuck is this? We did not need clutch problems in the middle of nowhere. After some attempts, we discovered that when we pulled the handle by the gear stick up to go in reverse, it went into first and second gear, but not in reverse. But at least we were able to drive. We met some lovely Kazakh people that told us to follow them to Akta and they would show us a good mechanic the next morning. On our way to the city, Ken said,
I remember this video I've seen on YouTube about a guy having kind of the same problem with his Ranger.
And once in Akta,
I went underneath the car and the problem was exactly the same as I remembered from the YouTube video. There's two bolts holding the aluminum plate from the gear stick to the gearbox. In our case, one was loose and one was missing. Next morning we went to the DIY shop and bought two new bolts for €1. Within half an hour, we were able to hit the road again. So these two bolts, one on this side and one on the other side. Right over here. But our detour to Aktau made us succeed at something we failed at the beginning of our trip. See the Caspian Sea. We hope you like this video and we hope to Caspian see you in the next one. In the next episode, we discovered a country that we absolutely didn't plan on visiting and surprised us in every aspect. Stay tuned.